Charter launched this week has put forward that 15 million jobs need to be created for Africa by 2025. This is if governments are serious about making a dent in the current unemployment crisis. The People's Charter on Jobs in Africa, created by the JobsNowAfrica Coalition as part of its new #JobsNowAfrica campaign, is an interactive tool designed to outline the scale of crisis, and the public is encouraged to a petition to urge governments and non-state partners to prioritize this issue. Joining me for more about this initiative is Itumeleng Lentsoane, campaign spokesperson for Yes for Youth. Itumeleng, welcome.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me this Saturday.
Now, Itumeleng, just take us through what the campaign one, which is a jobs campaign, what does it aim to achieve? I mean, it's quite a big number of getting 15 million new decent jobs in Africa.
Yeah. So the Jobs Now campaign is actually following a 6-month-long consultation across 7 countries in the African continent. This includes Senegal, Tunisia, Nigeria, DRC, and South Africa as well. We brought together different stakeholders, NPOs, industry experts, business, as well as government, to really engage and find rigorous ideas and solutions to respond to this unemployment crisis that is not just a South African problem, but really is a problem across the continent. At our launch on Thursday, we played a video where we displayed unemployment as not only a ticking time bomb, but actually as a bomb that has already exploded. Stats SA just released the Q4 labor force survey results, and it was bittersweet, where we saw that employment has increased from 14.3 million to 14.5 million. However, unemployment has also increased, where we have more than 7.9 million unemployed South Africans. If we take a broader look across the African continent, Africa is one of the continents that has the youngest demographic, and by 2050 we expect this population to have doubled. And in response to this, we'll need 15 million jobs created annually. And really, this Jobs Now Charter and campaign is really a call to action to government, to non-state partners, to really come together to commit to key policy reforms that create and enable these work opportunities to be created.
Now, Itumeleng, we are seeing that a lot of influx of young people moving from the rural areas coming into more urbanized areas then creates that concentration of jobs not being created. Are you looking, or are you in talks with governments across the continent to start looking at implementing job creation within rural areas, especially when it comes to agriculture?
Definitely. I like that you mentioned agriculture, because in our call for decent jobs, we really also focus on high growth sectors. This is manufacturing, this is agriculture, and also the creative industry as well is showing high potential in creating work opportunities. You are correct. Partial unemployment is really a problem, and this is why it's important to engage with all stakeholders, from government to local stakeholders and communities, and see how we actually bring these jobs and drive community economy and rural economy as well. Because we've seen that there is a positive correlation where people are working within their communities. It really has a sense of pride, a sense of commitment. So we're really trying to also align as to how we also bring these jobs not only in Sandton, but we take them to the Eastern Cape in the marginalized areas where the need is.
Most certainly we need to do that. Now, we're also now moving more into Africa. We've seen that a lot of young people, especially those between the ages of 15 and 24, when asked why they join rebel groups, especially in countries like Nigeria and Somalia, is precisely because the point is they aren't any access, or they don't have any access to jobs.
That is correct. And one of our priority actions as part of the Charter is really leveraging and optimizing on the African Continental Free Trade Area, where we try and ease the way of doing business across the African continent. Simple things such as payment systems. How do we buy and trade across the different countries, as well as how do we then connect and enable just South African youth to be able to have access to markets to Nigeria Nigeria and to Kenya in response to this. It is not only a problem for one country, and this is why it's so important for all of us on the continent to come together and commit to taking action.
But are we seeing countries within the African continent making strides that we could possibly copy from in order for us to increase our employment, especially amongst young people?
That's a very important point. And what we've tried really to do in this jobs charter is not to create anything new, but really because there's so much that's being done across the continent and in South Africa already, we really try then to come together and find one solution, that how do we bring about all of these already existing initiatives, and we just build one strong, bold voice together.
So how are you rallying these young people in terms of getting them to sign this petition and to ensure that we are speaking in unison as young people for jobs to be created?
We had an absolutely amazing launch on Thursday where one of our guest speakers was Pearl Tusi, who really launched our campaign for us. And our young South Africans and the African continent can join us by pledging on our microsite. You can sign and pledge there because we need as many voices behind this charter as possible. They can also like, share and comment on our content on our social media page so that this goes viral and really gets to the ears and the eyes of the relevant people.
Thank you so much. That is Itumeleng Lentsoane, the spokesperson for the Jobs Youth Campaign, the Jobs Campaign spokesperson, telling us how Africa can really come together and rally in terms of getting decent employment for 15 million youth within the African continent.